Hi everybody, my name is Susan Campain and I am a Senior Accounting Analyst at the Kauffman Center for Performing Arts. And you may wonder, what is an accounting analyst? I'm an accountant. So I work with numbers at the Kauffman Center. All the transactions that happen involve money. So money coming in, money going out, and we kind of track all of the money and make sure that all those transactions happen. The revenue coming in comes from our ticket sales to our performances, our rental fees that we have, and then also from generous contributions from our generous donors. On the expense side, we have lots of expenses that we pay. Everything from the utilities, the heating and gas, to cleaning the beautiful windows at the Kauffman Center, security costs, payroll costs, all of that kind of funnels through the accounting department. So we get to see everything that goes on here. Today we're going to be making bean bags from socks, and there's lots of fun activities that you can do with these, and we'll talk about that maybe when we get finished. But what you're going to need is socks. This is great for those random socks that you miss a pair, you miss a sock and you don't have a complete pair, or maybe you've outgrown your socks. So we're going to use socks. You're going to need scissors, a yarn or string. This is just a glass to hold the sock while we fill it up, and this is the beans that we're going to use. You can also use rice, but I wanted to use beans so that they could be true bean bags. And you can see the beans I'm using, small navy beans. We're also going to need a measuring cup, and then I like to use this because it's bendable to actually pour it into the sock. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to use this little ankle sock today, but if you use a sock that's more of a little bit longer sock, you could probably get 2 bean bags out of a sock like this, or if you use knee-high socks, you might get 3 or 4. So we're going to start with the sock, and this is what I use the glass for. Put the sock inside the glass, and it doesn't have to be a glass, but something that you can hook the sock over the edge so that we can drop the beans in. And we're going to use a ½ cup of the beans. I've poured them in here just because they're easier to scoop than to pour them out of the bag. So you want a ½ cup. And again, you could try to pour them directly into that, but it's a little bit easier if you have something that bends. A paper cup, or maybe a funnel might work. We're sliding our beans into the sock. And then we're going to remove that. So now we just kind of scrunch them down, because I like the bean bag to be a nice round shape like these. So you get it nice and round. If you wanted to make larger bean bags, you could use a cup of beans and then it would be much bigger. So I'm just going to twist it. Now I'm going to tie it with a piece of string. This is actually yarn. It's real thin yarn. And you can see there's different ways to close them. This, I've left the top of the sock and I've tied it. These would work nice if you are making a target, if you can draw a chalk bullseye on your driveway or sidewalk, and you can throw these or throw these into a container. This is just a nice little handle to grab onto it. Another idea would be to set up water bottles like bowling pins and try to knock them down, or you can even stack them up like a pyramid and knock them down. So this is just a nice little handle. These I have tied the sock actually in a knot, and that's a way to do it. And the ones that we're doing now, we've got the string that we're tying down closely to the edge. It's a little more compact, and this would be perfect for juggling, which we'll talk about in a bit. So I've taken the sock and I've filled it with beans and I've just twisted it. And then I'm going to wrap the string and just tie a simple knot. And what I like to do is tie it down as close to possible as the beans. And I turn it over and I tie the other side. And this time I'm going to double knot it. Okay. And then we'll just snip off the ends. So now I'm going to just trim the top, because this is a little bit big. And if you're going to juggle, I think that's just going to be in the way. So I'm just going to cut close to the bottom It's nice and secure so the beans shouldn't fall out. And there we have a beautiful bean bag. Now, if you did use a longer sock, I'm going to show you how that you can make a bean bag out of this, because we've cut both ends. So they're both open. So we're going to turn it right side in or wrong side out. And we're going to use another piece of string. We're actually going to need 2 pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut 2. So we're just going to lay the sock on top of the string, and we're going to just tie it and gather up that end just like that. Again, pull it really tight. We're going to double knot it. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do it on the other side as well. We're going to make sure we don't spill the beans. Okay. So we'll cut those strings. And if you've got too much sock there, you can trim off a little bit more so that you're not real bulky. And we're going to turn it right side out. So it looks like we have an ankle sock again. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put the sock in the glass, stretch the edges over, and we're going to use half a cup of beans. Now, if you are wanting to make bean bags to juggle, it's important that the weight of the bean bags be approximately the same. So if you have one that's heavier than the others, it's going to be a little harder to juggle. I'm going to pour these in. Okay. So again, we're going to scrunch the beans down so it makes kind of a round shape instead of an oblong shape. And I like to twist it. And then we're going to tie it again, just like we did before. I turned it over, and I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Another project or an activity that you can do, if you've ever played cornhole, you can get a cardboard box. Now I'm just going to cut the top of it off again. You can use a cardboard box to make cornhole and cut a hole in it, and then you can throw these toward your cornhole. Another idea would be to take paper plates, and you could put different numbers on them. One would be 10 points, one would be 20 points, and those could be your targets, and you could lay those in your yard, or even you could do it inside if mom or dad will let you do it inside. There we go, beanbag. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy your bean bags. Be sure to check out the Future Stages Festival website for other demonstrations and performances. And now I'm going to turn it over to my coworker Nial, who's going to show you a nice demonstration and teach you how to juggle. Nial, catch!